Okay, good afternoon, everybody. As I said earlier on, it's my first time in Israel, and I absolutely love what I've seen and the people, how nice they've been so far. Can we, before I start my presentation, can we give a big round of applause to Itai and his crew over here? I think they've been brilliant laying on this absolutely fantastic event, and well done, guys. So, affiliate marketing, JV management. Oh, I meant to be looking here, yeah. Right, just a quick one about me. My name is Declan Mack. I'm a father, a husband, an entrepreneur. That's my family up there. My wife, obviously, on the outside. My 10-year-old wife and my 8-year-old wife. So I live with 3 women, as I said earlier on. My house is pink, and that's why I love coming to these events, because I talk to as many males as I can, because all I talk to is females at home. But I got into this game. I actually fell into this game. I ran a bar over in Ireland, and my 2 kids, Rachel and Emma, were born when I was down in the bar. And it's not a place that you have a job in, especially in Ireland when it's so busy, running the bar when you have 2 new children. So I got out of that, and I stayed at home to look after my two girls. My daughter Rachel, as you can see from that, her and I are like that, and we've grown that way from me spending time with her at home rather than being out running a bar or doing a 9-to-5 job. And since I've got into affiliate marketing and got myself a mentor initially, that's how my business has grown. But it's I was just saying to my partner David there last night, my 10-year-old there, as I showed you here, that's standing up, when she was 6.5, we got a very, very big shock, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. We discovered a tumour in her tummy, and the 24 hours waiting for the results of that tumour to come back, I would not wish on anyone. They were the worst 24 hours of my life. But thank God it turned out it was benign. She hadn't got a cancerous tumour, and what I do now, when that happened, it puts a lot of things into perspective, and I've gone on from there, and they're the reason why I'm in this business. So my mates, when I spent time at home, used to call me Mrs. Doubtfire, because I was at home. I was the stay-at-home father. My wife had a very good job at the time. She was out working Monday to Friday, so they christened me Mrs. Doubtfire. So there I am. But in this presentation, we'll be looking at my business, which include business sales, my secrets on how I grow my business, and my experience on building long-term relationships and partnerships that will skyrocket your business. I really want to give you guys as much content and value as I possibly can. This is all from my personal experience. I've been doing this nearly 5 years. I run my own marketing events, the Marketing Alliance, as I mentioned earlier on. I'm one of the attendees who has come to every one of my events bar one, christened me the I Am Shepherd, and that's my t-shirt, because I bring a flock of people together in the affiliate world. And I'm going to show you today how I look after my flock, and how I've made it into one happy Marketing Alliance family. It's just a couple of the guys I've met in the way. There's Andrew Fox, I don't know if you know him. What I've done in the 5 years is simple. Anyone can do it. I'm no tech genius, folks. What I do best is I communicate, and again, as I said, I bring people together. Anyone can do it, and this day and age, I think I am getting scared actually in this day and age with my 2 kids and my children. And you just look at the world nowadays, and the art of communication has gone, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse, because all you see now with kids and adults and teenagers and all they communicate is with their phone. And I really think it's sad, because the art of conversation has gone, and with the business we're in, a lot of our business is around communication. I was looking from the outside, I was observing where these top guys that I was started off seeing, I was looking at them and seeing what they were doing, and I went out. As I said, I've no tech skills, but for people, I went to some events As I mentioned, I got myself a mentor, and it's only when I got myself a mentor and went to these events like this and started talking to people that guys said to me who I knew from the group that my mentor had, that I was in with my mentor, that my communication or my speciality was communication. So I went then and I launched a few products. I went out and I attracted affiliates, got a few in. But it's all about really making connections with the people who, I don't know if anyone knows those guys in that. That's Adil Chowdhury, that's Bruce, Brett Rutecki. All these guys have done multi-million-dollar launches on the JV Zoo and Warrior Plus networks, and they've come and they've spoken at my events, the Marketing Alliance events. We've had 7 already. Our 8th one is in Thailand next month. But it's through these marketing events and through communication with these guys that I have been able to go on and sort of grow a business. These are just a few. I don't like throwing these out. They're just of what is capable if you get out there and make the right connections, launching products, promoting products. I mean, anyone can do it. As I said, I'm nothing special. I came from a background of not knowing what an email swipe was, what a squeeze page was, nothing like that. And I don't know if I should say this because there's a few ladies in the room. My friends who christened me Mrs. Doubtfire said to me, "What do you know about the internet? The only thing you know about that is the porn sites." Now, it's not me, but that's the level that I was on in their eyes. But I went on to, as I said, I'm not showing that just to boast or brag, but that's what's possible if you make the right connections and do the right things. Matt Basak there. Anyone know Matt Basak? Yeah. Big JV Zoo guy, Warrior Plus guy, multi-million-dollar business he has. There's just a couple of testimonials from him. Vipul is another Indian guy who was at our Marketing Alliance event. Again, connections, Ryan Allier, John Carnetta, these are guys who have set up multi-million-dollar businesses. And I still pinch myself when I look down into an audience at my events and I see these guys sitting in the audience and speaking, and I say to myself, God, how do you get these guys on board? Like, and again, it's just about communication. That's the only way I get these people, is by just being a communicator, hitting them up, being nice. And I'm just going to give you a few sort of insider tricks into what I wouldn't say they're tricks, even just nuggets on how I actually I've done it myself. And the benefit of growing your network of contacts is to create long-term relationships with people, and I think it's really, really important nowadays to do that. Like, life these days is very, very short, and people don't have time to do much, but it's the little things like saying hi, saying hello, communicating. And I know a lot of people, I'm really talking about, as I said, promoting your own stuff to get affiliates to promote your stuff, like your digital products, your softwares, your businesses, and what way to do that properly. I'm skipping through this now because I want to get to the meaty stuff. So you ready for the golden nuggets, the ninja strategies and all that type of stuff, yeah? These are really, in my mind, these are really overlooked in the business nowadays, and people just forget about it because they're just too busy. Right, first of all, if you're looking for someone to promote your offers, find the 20 top 30 affiliates in your niche. Say, I'm going to base this on the internet marketing niche because that's what I'm in. Munchai.com is a great thing for platform for finding out where all the launches of the coming weeks, the coming months are on. If you want to hit up these 20 top affiliates, go to Munchai, see where what they're launching, when they're launching. Get a spreadsheet. Right, go to Facebook, look up these guys on Facebook, and rather than just hitting them up or befriending them, do befriend them first of all, obviously, but then when you're sending them a message, don't send them a message. And it's really, really off-putting when I see somebody and they're saying, "Hey bro," or hey lady, how are you doing? I have a launch coming up. Like, there's no communication there. There's nothing about building up a relationship with them. And many of the time I've ignored this type of communication because there's nothing personal. There's nothing more sort of impersonal than just, hey, I have a launch, and you're going, I don't even know you. Why would I turn around and support any of your products, any of your launches? Like, it's just ridiculous. And it's amazing how many people still do it. Like there's what I said on Munchai. There's a whole list, munchai.com, of launches of softwares, of services, of digital products that people launch. And there's a calendar of it and who's coming up and what's coming up. Do a bit of research, go in, get the names out of there. Warrior Plus as well is a great platform that we deal on. And then again, to find people on there, it's really the same sort of strategy. Go in, find your top 20, 30 affiliates, make a list of them. That they're all going to be on. I mean, Facebook, you know yourself, Facebook knows more about you than, say, your husband, your wife, your mother, your father. It probably knows more about you than yourself. Well, I'd be right, yeah. Facebook are absolutely, it's mad. Someone was talking about it earlier on and said, like, if you're having a conversation on Facebook or something like that, next minute say you're having a conversation about, oh, you're looking to buy, say, a new pair of shoes if you're a woman, or say a new bed or something like that, and it's no coincidence then, like half an hour later, you see an ad for a bed or a pair of shoes or something like that. They know more about you than anybody else in your life. So again, Facebook is a huge thing. Go there, you hit up these guys, make a communication with them, but don't just, again, as I said, hit them up and say, right, how are you doing? I have a launch coming up. Look into their profiles on Facebook. Look into if they're married, what their interests are, if they have kids, where they live. When I started off in this, and I was amazed when I started off in this game, I had an Indian chef who worked in the bar. He was a 5-star chef, and he was from a place called Hyderabad in India. Now, the first guy I did a launch with in the day when I was back 5 years ago on the Warrior Plus forum. Where did he live? Hyderabad. So I ended up doing I think it was a $60,000 launch with him, because I went and I hit him up and said, I see you're in Hyderabad, that's where you live. And of course, once I sent that message to him, he said he was thinking to himself, how do I know this guy? Like, how does he know this about me? And it was an icebreaker. We went on, as I said, to do a $60,000 launch because I researched what he was doing, where he was from, all about him. There's another platform, as I said, a Warrior Plus. There's leaderboards and contests all the time in Warrior Plus. If you want people who can really, really, really sell some of your products, their names are all there. I mean, I know all these guys. Number one there, John O'Armstrong, Ray Lane, Adrian Christian. You go, and that's where you're finding these people's names, who are your source of traffic. And you get to know them, as I said, on Facebook. That's where you get to know their names. You can hit them up on Facebook. Say, I see you around Warrior Plus, and look at their profiles and who they're connected with and all that, and throw things in that way. But again, as I mentioned, these are icebreakers, and it opened the door for big bucks, selling your products, selling your services, that type of stuff. The art of communication, as I said, is dead in the 20th century. It really is, and it is getting worse. And I'm really scared for, I said this already, but my kids are growing up, and my eldest is 10. There, Rachel, as I showed you earlier on. I'm going to try as long as I can to hold off giving her a mobile device, because it's scary. It really is scary at the communication level of kids, of teenagers, and even of adults, when they're stuck in their phone. Like, I mean, what's beside your bed when you go to bed? Your phone. It's your alarm clock. It's everything. And that's, again, I'm just going to delve into a communication side of things here as well. Like the fundamental techniques to deal with people that I use. For others to like you more, a set of essential principles, in my mind, must be followed. There are simple rules that, when followed, make you admired, able to make more friends, and here they are. 6 principles to make people like you, okay? For people to like you, you have to act in an adorable way. Now, I don't mean going around kissing people and hugging people and all that, because that's a bit freaky. But just to start off, here are 6 extremely simple principles to help you become a person that people like and admire. And if people like and admire you, a couple of the speakers said earlier on, they will want to do business with you, they will want to buy off you, and they will want to promote you as well. So, principle 1 is demonstrate an interest in people. If you want to be loved, you need to demonstrate with actions that you care about other people. The easiest way to do this is to know how to greet them. To greet people, you should always have enthusiasm, excitement. You have to look into their eyes and show interest. Always greet all people, and never ignore the less important ones. I think that's really, really important. Again, nowadays, the communication sort of things. But if you greet someone with a handshake and a smile and maybe a touch on the shoulder or something like that, you're halfway there to building a relationship with them, especially at these type of events, guys. It's really, really important to network at these type of events. And most of the people that come to my Marketing Alliance events, they come to see the speakers, all right, that we have, but they come to network. And it's very, very important that you network properly. And it's amazing how many people who don't know how to network. Principle 2, I would say, always smile. If you're meeting somebody, no matter if you know them or you don't know them, always come up to them, give them a handshake and a smile. And I'm a very sort of touchy-feely type of a guy, and I'll always give someone a hug, male or female or whatever, when I meet them. And with that, it's creating sort of a bond between the two of you. And people remember that. People like, you know, your expression shows a lot about you. It really does, even more than the way you dress. If you come up with somebody and you give them a big smile, they'll know that you're happy to meet them, and they'll be glad of that. Smile is a powerful expression, especially when it's sincere. You got to make sure it's sincere, though. You can't go to the hi, how you doing, because it'll come across as insincere, and people won't want to deal with you when they know it's insincere. Be nice. It's just nice to be nice. If you act like a happy person, you become happy. I know, again, in this day and age, the way the internet is and the way the world revolves, people don't have time. I make it my business to spend time with people at the weekend. My mates, my family, I always go out with them. And again, with my mates especially, we go out and we talk football, because no football or sport really talks in my house, although my two girls are very good at football. I have them playing football, but I go out for a male conversation at the weekend. I talk to my mates, and it's always good. Well, we have a tendency, because we're in the internet marketing game and we're in the business that we're in, we're sitting in front of computers and laptops and handheld devices, to be on our own, like, and isolated. And that's scary as well for the mind and well-being as well, if we do sort of concentrate on our own and get out. I remember a guy, he was a big YouTube influencer. He was at one of my events last year in Portugal, and I think he has over 200,000 subscribers to his channel. He said to me, I don't need to make money anymore. He says, my money is made through YouTube. I just do it because I like it. But he couldn't look me in the eye for the first day, because he wasn't used to communicating with people, because he was stuck for 14 hours in front of a computer on his YouTube channel doing things. And he actually said that to me. He said, I just find myself isolated and I can't communicate anymore because I'm not used to it. I've lost the way to communicate. And after the third or fourth day, after meeting the rest of the people and mingling and forging different friendships, he sort of came out of his shell. But it's scary that can happen to us, and it really is. We need each other, guys. We absolutely do. So the thing, remember names. I know it's hard when you're at events like this. Thank goodness we have these name tags. But when I was working, when I ran the bar for 5 years, if I went into that bar, it was very important that I remembered people's names, especially sort of women, middle-aged women and old women. If you remember their name, you were gold. I remember as well, when I was a supermarket manager, there was an old woman that used to come into the shop. She was about 92, and she'd come in every morning with her walking stick, and she'd come up to the reception desk and she'd go, "Hello, Mr. McInerney," to me. And my name, like, you have a management board at the back of the reception, and Declan McNamara, as I said earlier on, is my second name. And I'd say, "Oh, Mrs. Walsh, it's Declan McNamara." "Okay, Mr. McInerney," and she'd walk off. And the next day she'd come in again, and she'd spend an hour in the shop just for company more than anything else. But every morning she'd come in and he goes, "Hello, Mr. McInerney." So I'm not holding that against her, and she was a brilliant lady. But it's important. People like you even more if you remember their name. Like, if you come to someone that you haven't met in a while and you go, "Oh, how you doing, man? How you doing?" They're going, "Ooh, I must be important to this guy because he's after remembering my name." So that's another big thing. Remember names if you can. God gave us 2 ears as well and 1 mouth. So that's saying something. Listen actively. If someone's talking to you, try and listen to as much as you can of what they're saying. People like careful listeners. So you should always show interest in what they have to say. Encourage them to speak and state their points of view, and let them know that you are listening and really care about them. because again, they feel special. Listen calmly and do not interrupt. Ask questions and people will be happy to respond. Again, that's a very important thing. Do not interrupt. We all love to talk about ourselves. We really, really do. And it's hard if someone's talking to you that you want to jump in and say something about yourself. But it's important to listen first to what they have to say, because they are important as well. Speak about their interests. Okay, the way to a person's heart is to talk about the things that they care about. You should research and discover, as I mentioned this earlier on Facebook, their background, what sporting likes they have, what family they have, and if you speak about their interests, you'll form a closer bond as well. Make them feel important, which I think is very, very important as well. Most of the people you talk to on a day-to-day basis feel superior to you, believe it or not, and that's only natural. One way to get into their hearts of these people is by making it clear to them that you recognize their importance in a sincere way. Be honest and generous in your praise and make people feel important. Talk about them, talk about their lives and their deeds. It's again very easy to talk about ourselves. Everybody loves talking about themselves, but talk about them as well, and you'll see their face light up. Demonstrate your respect by using words like "excuse me," "would you mind," "sorry for the inconvenience," and always say thank you. I'm a big believer in always saying thank you. Now, just going back to how to build relationships by using these sort of methods with affiliates and vendors. Mainly I connect with people or build relationships with people. I believe that being people oriented is, that's meant to be orientated, is really important to having success. Again, I think it's really, really important to build a relationship with people to grow your business, because especially in the space I'm in the IM space, you might have the best software ever, you might have the best course ever, but if you have no one to sell that course or sell that software, then you're in trouble. And I've seen it the other way around as well. People have the connections and have had lousy softwares, have had lousy courses, and still sold because the people that they know. Any means I use to contact people builds a relationship with them and increase sales. So as I said, you just go out there and try and build as much of a relationship and a close relationship with these people as possible. And I really benefit myself from this with my Marketing Alliance events. It has brought me so close to some of the big affiliates and gurus in our space. I don't like using that word gurus, because at events, I tend to tell people to leave their sort of guru status behind them. To many people, I've said that. Put thought into the relationship building process, and it will show results. There's one of my events, masterminds over in Bangkok last March. I mean, look at those guys. I don't know if you recognise any of them. You have Walt Bayless, you have David Kavanagh, who lives in Pattaya. You've Art Flair, you've Jamie Oliver at the back. These guys are cranking out sort of $1 million launches of their products every 4 or 5 months. And again, for me to make contacts with these people and see these caliber of people in the audience, it just, I pinch myself sometimes. So one thing I'll say about a relationship I've built with Jamie Oler, and it's simple. It really is so simple. Again, anyone could do it. I saw on his wall, on his Facebook wall, that his daughter was getting married in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. So I went out. There you go. I'm working with a guy called Jamie Oler. I went out and I bought her a little present saying "married in 2019." I had his address originally, and I sent it to his address with her name on it. And that's his daughter, his eldest daughter, and she's getting married. Do you think that worked about building a relationship? Not just with her, she's an upcoming marketer as well, but with him, I was the best thing since sliced bread. $5, €5 on a little plaque saying "married in 2019" in the post. He took a picture of her opening it, the video, and sent it to me, and she was delighted. And more so, he was delighted, because I was going out of my way, not much to be honest, getting a little plaque with that meant something to her because she was getting married, and making it memorable to her that it was her wedding day. If you take your relationship to the next level, you need to think the next level. You got to get close to people at marketing events like this and different ones. It's really important to go out and network. don't be the one that stands in the corner or drinks the tea. Go over and meet these people and say hello to them. I mean, they're not going to give out to you, or they're not going to, you got to break the ice somewhere. Try and, even if it's out of your comfort zone, just to say hello to somebody, or say, listen, how you doing? I'm Declan. Pleased to meet you. Where you from? What do you do? Like, the more relationships you built up in this business, obviously the bigger your business is going to grow. You just need to, yeah, that's right. You just need to go that extra yard. That's it, really. Go that extra yard, and then you're all right. There's another guy who was at my marketing event there recently. These guys are all. I'm looking at these guys, as I said, he runs a multi-million-dollar company. They're shifting nearly $1 million a month. And again, I got him. But just making a conversation with him, send him a message on Facebook, befriending him, ask him would he like to speak at one of my marketing events. Bill McIntosh is his name, and again, he came along and gave some great content, great value. Spoke to everybody afterwards. What we tend to do is it's a weekend event, half day Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, and we have free bars in the evening as well, which keeps people together. And then that's when a lot of the networking is done. A lot of the deals are struck in the bar after a few pints. I was brought on by saying that I'm from Ireland, where everybody likes a drink and likes Guinness. But just give you a little clue. If you're going around the world, don't drink Guinness, because we keep our best Guinness at home. We just get rid of the bad stuff, you know. But it's amazing how many deals I have seen that have been struck up over a beer, over a coffee, over whatever. Like, I have examples of people who met at my Marketing Alliance events, and they've gone on to do 6-7 figure launches together because of, like there was one example of a developer and a marketer who teamed up, went out and did I think they did $140,000 of a launch, all because they met at the event. They talked to each other, they developed a relationship and built on it. There's I'm going back on that. I don't know where they're coming from. So again, how I make a relationship, I've told you that. There's Tom, a guy from Israel. I'm actually meeting him tonight. He invited me out. And there's his testimonial. How do you define the perfect marketing event? The location, the speakers, the networking, the brand of the event. Well, I can say I've been to multiple events in several continents over the years, and in the last Marketing Alliance event, I had a great balance of networking and having fun in Barcelona. It's a great city. I'm not going to Declan's next event in Thailand, unfortunately. And I have other commitments, but I'm telling you, no matter what niche, business or background, if you want to get clients, exposure, money or traffic online, the easiest mature way is to get to one of Declan's events in university. But again, I'm not blowing my own trumpet there. That's just from people who have been at my events. There's screenshots or a photo of all those great. There's Mike Filsain. Don't even know Mike Filsain. Huge guy, absolutely huge guy. It's funny there, you see in that photo, his face has been blocked by the other girl who has the camera. Do you see that? Mike's in the middle there, beside the guy with the M on his hat, and the girl in front of him is blocking his face with her own camera. But these are guys that I wouldn't have met if I didn't go out and just say hello and made a commitment. And to have Mike Filsain speak at my last event was huge for me as well. So just to recap, guys, you don't need to have any technical background to go places in the internet marketing business. I didn't. And it's just through building relationships and communication with people that's where I've built my business. If you'd have said to me 5 years ago that I'd be speaking on a stage at a marketing event in Israel, I would have laughed at you, absolutely laughed at you. But everything is possible in this game. In this world nowadays, everything is possible. If you put your heart into it and you put all your energy into it, it is possible. Like for me, to say that I'm making a full-time living and running a sort of a six-figure business every year through the internet, that would have been very, very hard to believe for me a few years ago. But it is possible. Don't ever put yourself down. Believe in yourself. Believe in the people who you work with. Mix with the right people as well. I have found a really... What's that about? If you can't do this, I really don't know what to tell you, because this is just all about simple things like talking to people in a way that you are building a relationship, and it's nice to be nice, as I mentioned earlier on. It can be life-changing. It can be job replacing income, and that's what I really want for you guys. I mean, it's just little tips I gave you about communication, but I can guarantee you that they will work. Again, that's Mike speaking. There's what I do this for. They really are my life, Rachel and Emma. I know the eldest there, Rachel, on the left-hand side, who had the tumour. I know she will do internet marketing as well, because she's the same as me. She will waffle and waffle and waffle in a nice way. She came in here, she would go up on stage and she'd talk to you as well for 15 minutes. I'd just like to say thanks again, guys. Thanks to Itai and all the guys for putting on such a great show. I'll be hanging around afterwards, so please reach out to me and say hi. Definitely contact me on Facebook if you want, or Skype. I'm always here, and I'm always very responsible. After all, I am a communicator. Declan Mac, Marketing Alliance, thank you very much for your attention. Thanks for listening up, and we'll talk to you soon. Nothing else, have I?